Hi everybody, this is Mr. Gallagher again. This is the second video in a series of kind of getting to know the teachers. I'm taking a video inside my home, and as I said before, people say if you have more than two things, then you have a collection. Everywhere I look in my house, I have collections, but they're good collections, and so which one do I... Then I thought, oh, my quilt collection. I'll show you that today. I didn't expect to start a quilt collection, but suddenly I had a quilt collection. I think the first one I got was at a thrift store. It's in the basement right now, but I can show you a pillow that went with it. I was at a thrift store. I really love thrift stores, and I have lots of stories about thrift stores. And there was this quilt with a pillow for sale. I can't even tell you the price because the price was unbelievable. So I had to buy it. And then, suddenly, a few years later, I got another quilt and another quilt. And so most of my quilts now are called art quilts. But I have two quilting artists in my life. Let me tell you about them in just a minute. But first, let me show you the pillow. Here's the pillow. Look at how cute that is. Now, that is part of a design that goes with a whole bed quilt using the same kind of fabric and designs and patterns. And it's an outdoor kind of farm, yard, animal kind of quilt. It's in the basement right now, so another day I'll have to show you that. But let me show you my other quilts. As I said, I have two artists who are quilters in my life. One, I'll show you this person. Let's try to zoom in there. This is Liesel. She's sitting by a river, the Skykomish River in Snohomish County. She's my mom-in-law. Her son, Norbert, is my husband. And she has been making quilts for years. And she made beautiful quilts for us that we have in different parts of the house. But I'll show you two of them. The first one I'll show you right here is this one. I love this one. It has beautiful purple flowers. Can you see them? Against a dark background that's black. And I learned by speaking to her that it's really a careful process to find the shape that you want individually and then match it with another shape to make kind of complementary colors and designs. I love this one because there's green by the leaves and then green in the opposite pattern. And then when I look at this, I realize they're kind of positive negative. That's a kind of art technique where if you take that out, the space you left is called the negative space. And so in this quilting square right here, there's this part and then there's this part, and each one is a positive negative. It's a beautiful design. Here's the border. I just love this quilt. And I'll pull back so you can see how beautiful it looks when it's full and big. When we have guests who come to the house, they love to sleep under this one because that reminds them of Liesel. She knows lots of our friends, and it just is a beautiful spring design. Then I learned that there's two parts of a quilt. There's the front and the back. So the back is one solid piece of fabric. But if you look carefully, you can see this fabric is the same as this one except for the background. This is the same flowers with a white background as the purple flowers with a black background. So it's kind of opposite. So people love to sleep in both of these. So then people started saying when they visit us in the spring, they liked this one because it was so light with the white background. When people came to visit us in the fall and the winter, they liked this one because it has a darker color, more green, darker green, and then the black. It's a very cool design. Thank you, Liesel. Back to Liesel right over there. And then the other quilt I'm going to show you right now is this one. Oh man, I love this one. Why why do I love this one so much? Because whenever I travel, I try to find fabric stores now. I never used to visit fabric stores, but now I visit them because I'm looking to find fabric that I can buy for Liesel to make designs and patterns and pillowcases and quilts with. And then, 2 times when she came to Seattle to visit, she lives in Germany, so we see her in Seattle only occasionally. I asked her if she would be willing to make me some ties. Because as I said, and you'll learn, I love to dress up for work. In fancy clothes and comfortable clothes and casual clothes and interesting clothes. And I like to wear ties. And I thought if I could go shopping for fabric for ties, she never made ties before, but she was willing to learn for me. She made me a bunch of ties. So I have Halloween ties and Valentine's Day ties and fall welcome to school ties and spring ties and holiday ties. And what she did with the extra scraps left over is she made an entire quilt, mostly made up of my tie fabric scraps. And you can see there's kind of a diamond shape. Quilts often have geometry in them. And there's kind of a diamond shape. There's a center hexagon surrounded by yellow hexagons, which is the color of the pattern blocks you'll use in math when you're in building. And then around the yellow hexagon kind of diamond shape is another diamond shape for the border, and that border is the one that has lots of the fabric scraps from my ties. Let me come in and show you some. Can you see the pretty red leaves? That's one of the ties that I have for the fall. I could wear it any time of the year because there are red maple leaves in my backyard right now. But I tend to like that one in the fall. This one I like a lot. It's a type of flower called pansy, which I really like because pansies look like there's a face in the center of the flower. And so I like to wear this tie that has this fabric in it in the springtime because springtime flowers come out. I'll move over here. This, take a look at those red right? Of course. I take this tie out at Valentine's Day. She made me a lot of Valentine's ties. And I let my class sometimes choose the tie I'm going to wear on some days. We do what's called a tie vote. And they have a voting cube, and they put a cube by the tie that they think I should wear on that day. They take a look at my shirt, they take a look at my shirt, they take a look at the ties, and they decide which will go best and which pattern they like. This is one of those Valentine's Day ties. Then, of course, I'm a big fan of a holiday that has black and orange in it, right? I could wear this any time of the year, but I do like to wear this in the month of October because the month of October has the last day of the month is Halloween. And so I like this tie. And then there's this pattern. I like that one in October too because it has cool jack-o'-lantern designs on it. Then if I slide down, here's my famous candy corn pattern. So I have a tie of candy corn on it. Maybe you'd vote for that one if you were in my class. Then there's this one. Purple background and orange shapes, and the shapes are all cool and different. Can you see the jack-o'-lantern and the spider? You see the witch on the broom? Then you see the bat and the cat. All of those are on one tie. It's so great. This fabric is a Seattle pattern fabric. You can see there's the public market, ferry, the volunteer park, conservatory. This is from Seattle, Washington. I don't have a tie like this, but I should ask her to maybe make me one. It's full of Seattle and Washington images. This one is a springtime tie because it has clover or shamrocks on it. I like to wear this one in March when spring arrives. Or it's also near a holiday called St. Patrick's Day, which is big in my family. There's this one too. You can imagine which holiday I like to take that out for. But then because it's hearty and lovey, I wear this a lot even other times during the year. This fabric has the top of the Chrysler Building, which is a big, important building in New York City. I found that fabric when I went to New York City. And so there's my tie quilt. I hope you like looking at these. This quilt and this quilt. And they're both made by Liesl Sorg, a great quilting artist who I love and I am related to. Thanks, everybody.